So I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been a little quiet. Of course, I'm going to do my podcast because, I love it. Um, and I invite you to check it out straight out of Savannah. And I rebranded Where the Magic Happens. I am so excited about that. And if you're a spiritual entrepreneur and you'd like to come on the show, reach out to me, find me wherever. I'm on all these platforms. You can message me on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok. I am on YouTube. And of course, right here on Substack. And you can look and find all my information. So wherever you are comfortable and wherever you land, if you want to reach out to me, I'm probably there. However, navigating shifts. And so I've been on this journey of navigating these shifts in my life. Like I recently medically retired. Sorry, y'all, it was a bee trying to come. But I recently medically retired. I also recently moved to a new community 3 hours away from where I was, which that's really not that big of a deal because I didn't like have family or anything there as well. I have my sister-in-law is in Seattle and we live so far away from her as far as the traffic goes to we didn't get to see her that often anyway. So we'll see her when we see her like we always did. So wasn't like, I had this whole gaggle of family around me and all this stuff. No, none of that. My family, most of them live on the East Coast. So anyhow, I'm navigating these changes in my life. And so as I was navigating, and last week the Lionsgate portal came through and it tried to knock my socks off, y'all. I was so sick. I just, and I don't like to be sick. I don't like to admit to being sick, any of that kind of stuff, but I was sick, y'all. I mean, I couldn't go. I felt like it could have been COVID, the flu, any of those things that kind of take the wind out of your sails. I don't know what it was because I didn't go get it. I didn't feel the need to get it checked and all that stuff. I just put myself on bed rest. I um juiced. I used some cucumber and celery. I think apples or something. I did that and I just laid around and rested. And then I was able to gain some clarity about this topic that I'm talking to y'all about, navigating shifts. So I've started a Facebook group and I dropped the link right in the comments for the Facebook group. So if you would like to come over there and join us there, come and join us. I also have a membership. Remember who um, TFUR. And it is designed to help you to remember those things and to um, shift in your life into the person that you knew that you were, the person that you've been speaking that you were for maybe years, maybe not, maybe minutes, but you've been speaking to, you know, this person that you are becoming. And so I'm here to help to navigate, to help us to be a guide, to help you to get through it because there are so many things that I have navigated and that I'm navigating and it's such an amazing process to do. I also have these amazing soul mirror readings that, I wasn't sure how fun it was going to be when it downloaded to me to do them. But I've done a few and it's been phenomenal and amazing and people get so much out of them. And the thing is it's a personal thing. So it's not like I can tell you what you're going to get. I can tell you some of the things that you may experience, some of the things that may happen for you, like the clarity that will come for you after we finish that session. So that's one of the things that I've been doing. And then also my podcast. So if you are a spiritual entrepreneur, and since I interview spiritual entrepreneurs, I would love to offer like 30-second commercials, 30-second host read commercials so that you can get your service out there or your product out there. And I want to offer it for $50. So if that's something that you're looking for as well to get yourself out there, because I'm telling you, things are moving for me. Doors are opening. Clarity has come and I am here for it. And so with the navigating the shifts, think about this. think about, if you're um, a mother, and think about, you had your kids and now they're grown. And so there's a shift. You got the empty nest, what they call the empty nest thing, which, I only see it because I talk to people a lot, but I honestly did not experience that. I was so grateful. I love my kids, but I was so grateful for them to go and enter their own lives. So grateful. So I don't know how that feels. However, I know how other shifts feel. Like, right now I'm doing the menopause thing, and that thing has been horrendous, but there are ways to get through it. And this is why I'm here to share these things. Um, the shift in the job, like I met a lot of ladies that they're in this shift where they've retired and they don't really know what to do with themselves. They don't, they feel like they need permission to do whatever they want to do in their lives. And, and of course that is, how we were conditioned. We were conditioned to think that we needed permission to do, be, or have anything that, is in our life. We're conditioned that way. So, shifting out of that conditioning and learning that no, no, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anything. Sometimes your best days are doing nothing. There are days now where, because I've shifted, I had to medically retire because long COVID took me out of there. And so I did. And so for a time, I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. And then I had this feeling because I worked, all my life, 2 and 3 decades. Yeah, 3 decades, 2 and 3 and 4 jobs. And so I always felt like I was supposed to be doing something. And let me go back even further than that. There was times, and this is things that are opening up for me and that I'm understanding as I've gotten older and as I've been in these shifts, but it came from even as a child. My mother didn't just let you sit and watch TV. You had to be folding clothes, you had to be ironing, you had to be reading, you had to be doing something else besides just freaking relaxing and taking in a show. And so that has carried over into my now life. And so these are part of the shifts that I'm making. I was somebody's mother, I was somebody's wife at 19. I was somebody's mother at 21, and then 22, and then 24, 26, or whenever the other child came through. And so, I had to shift from that space where, I didn't have to always be taking care of people. For me, I unpacked that I feel like I've been taking care of people my whole life since I was 9 or 10 years, 8 or 9 years old. That is how I have felt. And so now, this time where I can literally take care of me. I don't have, little children at home that I have to deal with. I don't have any damn pets that I have to deal with. None of that. I take care of me and my husband, David. That is it. And I'm good with that. Like, I don't desire to have, I look and I see these people with these little dogs. I'm looking at one right now. I see them with these cats and stuff, and they're cute as they can be. But yeah, no. To me, it's just another thing to take care of. Another thing that I have to put energy toward. And so right now is a time for me where I'm putting energy toward me. And I'm sharing with the beautiful ladies that are on this journey with me. And you know who you are, because I know, because they talk to me. I do meditation at my local community club, and those ladies talk to me about the things that they are shifting and transitioning. And so I know that it's time. So I actually am in the process of creating a program as well to help you with that. And I think that it's going to be so you could get it self study, or you can get it with Zoom calls. So I'm thinking about that. It's really kind of kicking in my brain, and I'm in creation mode because after all of that Lionsgate stuff and all of that thing that happened with me in the Lionsgate, whoo, Jesus. Mm, yeah, so it's creation time. Although I'm still in this state of flow where I am taking care of myself. So I'm introducing all of this to you guys, and I'll be coming through as well with more. We're going to talk about this more. I'm going to unpack some more things in navigating life shifts, and I'm talking to my ladies from, at least 35 up, because that's when, you start really looking at your life at 35. For me, at least it was. 35 was when I really started getting serious about my life. I mean, not that I wasn't before, but before I was raising kids. Like I said, I was raising kids and working like a mule. And then that's another thing that I unpacked. My mother worked like that for a long while. And so it's what I saw. My family is what I saw, and so I realized that. But here's the thing, just because that's where you came from and that's what you saw, it does not mean that that's what you have to be. I spoke on another live talking about breaking generational curses and improving generational blessings, is what I want to say. And so these are things that I continue to do. I continue to break those curses, and I continue to embody the person that I came here to be. I continue to be my most authentic self. I continue to do these things, and I'm here to show you and to help you to do these things as well. Not as a teacher, a guru, or any of that kind of stuff, as a guide. As a guide, as an oracle, as um, someone who has already been walking the path and is reaching back to give you a hand. That's who I am. I'm reaching back to give you a hand, to tell you, hey, come on, you can do this. It's not so bad. I've done it, or I'm doing it. So let's go. Let's walk. Let's go this way. Don't focus on all the trash and all the dirt that you can see. Because what happens is the dirt is easier to see. And that's why we look at it the hardest. But we don't have to stay there. We can continue to keep going, in the layers, going in the deep. Adele sang this song about rolling in the deep. And I don't know what she meant by it, but what came to me was when we begin to roll in the deep and realize that, as she said, I could have had it all. She said, I could have had it all, rolling in the deep. And so I think about that. It's like we can either decide that we want to stay up here on the surface in the 3D and all that stuff, or we can start going deeper and rolling in the deep. And as we navigate these shifts, because I'm telling you, I started really diving in and looking at all of this stuff when I was dealing with all that stuff in the Lionsgate portal, because I was in the bed. I didn't have anything else to do. But, talk to God and get some answers, and also do some studying, do some learning, learn about, the things. And so I started doing that, and I started realizing that, you know, in the big scheme of things, in the big scheme of things, the things that are so outside of you, because sometimes we are looking at this little space, that we're looking at this little space, and we don't realize it's almost like people that live in small towns and they never get out, like they never travel or anything like that. They think that the world is small like that, but the world it's small, but it's not small like that. Like, there are so many different things. There are experiences that you can have. There are benefits to all of these things that happen to you, actually really for you, is really when you think about it. Even though it doesn't feel good, it's not pleasant, you know what I mean? But it does happen for you if you choose to look at it that way. If you choose to open up to a different perspective. Speaking of perspectives, we have the Art of Perspective game show that is coming to Ethereal Network, and I'm super excited. I'm working with some beautiful ladies that are just the most amazing spirits. I love them all. have such a blessed and wonderful time bringing this thing to light. And it's all about how we can all have different perspectives and they don't all have to be wrong. It's about, being non-judgmental, which is a part of the thing that I always say anyway. Matter of fact, that is my journey. That is my journey for this month. Every month I choose a journey. Is it trust? Is it, being non-judgmental? Because that's the thing. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here and just talk a little bit about this stuff and share with you, the direction that I'm going and invite you as well to join me in this new group if you are a lady, because this group is for ladies. I really want to be able to unpack some things in this group that is going to help the ladies. Okay, guys, you can continue to follow me here on Substack, on YouTube at Intuitive Tammy, or on my Facebook group, my Facebook page, Tammi Morrison. But I felt so strongly about this direction that I shut down all of my other groups because I really want to focus on my ladies and this shift. All the way to bad, bad, not good, and hiatus KO. Oh, that's right, he's dead. All right. So anyhow, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll be back on again at some point. I cannot tell you when. When the spirit hits me, I'll come on as I navigate through this deep self-care time that I'm having. Like I really had to just shut everything down and care for me and love on me and navigate through some of these things that are happening in my body and with my body. So then I'll probably talk about some of that stuff later and share because, like I said, I know that if I'm going through it, many, many other people are as well because it's a big, 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 big world and lots of people in it. So enjoy the rest of your day, stay positive and don't worry. Be happy.